Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Hardspace Shipbreaker. This is, well, I was going to say future me, but the stuff that you've seen so far that I've been recording was stuff that I recorded during the pre-release window. And while I have recorded a bunch more episodes, I've decided to just jump forward and start recording from in the presence, because we're getting a lot of interest and traffic, and thank you. That's wonderful that people are flocking to the channel, but mostly it's because it's such a great game and they enjoy watching it. But there's also some really good feedback coming from it, and as we discussed previously, not to waffle too much on, like, say, our Kerbal series and that, I find it's probably better if I'm doing episodes in a more reactionary way. That way I can sort of implement what you guys are talking about. So to give you an idea, I am rank 6 now, so I've jump forward, and you can see I've actually chipped out 30 million of my debt. Now, to give you a quick idea, there were a few bugs in the pre-release version. It seems to be a lot better. People have suspected that the slowdown that I was experiencing, while there is some slowdown with the larger ships and that as well, there's not much you can do about that, might be OBS, which is my recording software related. They are 100% correct. I was troubleshooting that for a while there, and for whatever reason, I was having some conflict with the screen settings. You can't get into the settings from here, you have to do it from the main menu, but I'll show you that in a minute. Or actually, I won't show it anyway, but it's not very complicated. But if you weren't doing it in, like, dedicated full screen mode, it was basically cracking the sads with my capture. So we've managed to troubleshoot that a little bit, so things should be better there. And there are a few things that are, oh, actually, I was just going to say really quickly, with the certification, I've now certified, I'm on 6, I certified 5, and I don't know what happened, if it was a crash or whatever, but at one point I loaded back in and my entire 5 certification had reset. Now again, bugs are bugs, you're going to get it in early access, so a good chunk of my episodes were recertifying for 5 all over again. It was a bit of a grind. So that's why I'm probably a little bit higher rank than I should be at this particular area. But through this, I'm pretty much all over the game. There are 2 main hulls. You've seen the what is it, the mackerel, and then there's the GECKO. We'll have a look at as well. And they have sort of subversions of those also. And I'm getting better at speed running through it. Something I will just really point out real quickly, and we'll do 2 shifts. We'll do 2 shifts an episode. Is that when it says days, remember I was sort of pseudo-reviewing this in a vacuum. I was like, oh, that's how many days it's left on the listing before it rotates through. It seems so obvious to me. But now every second person has pointed out to me that that's the amount of days that the game is giving you to harvest the ship. And I was like, oh. I couldn't figure out why it kept taking the ship off me. I thought it was a bug where it was like, for whatever reason, it was deleting the ship. So I feel like an idiot, but I'm so glad you guys pointed that out. And there were various other little hints and tricks that you guys have pointed out along the way, which is great. Now, I'm tempted to show you a GECKO. Yeah, I know we're jumping forward a little bit, but what we might do is I'll show you a GECKO, because before people lose too much interest in the series, I'll show you what the game really can do and where it can really go. We'll grab the 3-day one, I suppose. Oh, I see now. It makes so much more sense. This changes the whole gameplay, and trying to salvage it within the time limit even more stressful, which is awesome. So I'm going to bring a GECKO in. But yeah, I think it's better this way. I'll jump in and I'll be able to employ some of your advice. There's some great stuff that people have been pointing out. I've gotten really good at pulling apart the smaller one. I found that you can cut the cockpit off really easily and get in through the siding through there. That's usually the easiest way. People that have suggested pulling the engine off the back or pulling the bum out doesn't work with a lot of the mackerel versions because they have fuel lines through their walls. Anyway, so we'll do this. I'll likely have to, oh, hang on. Options. We'll turn these graphics back up, because I was experimenting with them at last check. And we'll do the old... There we go. So it just turns down the resolution on the textures. In fact, actually, just really quickly, like I was saying, that is literally the video screen, right? It's not it's not that complicated. there's not a lot you can do, but the changing the full screen mode helped fix my bugs, so that was great. It is interesting that the textures change from high to low without having to reboot as well so quickly. Anyway, so this is a GECKO. We've got, the trick with it you'll see is there are a lot of different compartments. Some are pressurized and some aren't, okay? So there's a whole minigame puzzle of trying to move between pressurized and unpressurized areas. It's not so easy as flushing the whole system. You can only do that with an explosive decompression. That's an interesting wall, isn't it? So that's something to do with the sort of coolant wall. Having a look at here, we've got a level 2 reactor in there in the back. And those lines aren't conventional fuel lines. They're reactor fuel lines, a sort of purple. A different type of fuel. It's way worse, way more explosive, way horrible. Wait, what is that? A heat sink. Oh. I think I've potentially taken out a different... Oh no, this is the cargo one. Okay, that's cool. Oh, I haven't seen that before. Usually, there's an environmental... There's an environmental room. This is a totally different... Oh, that's exciting. Anyway, usually there's an ECU, which is, it's full of coolant barrels and it runs coolant into the main reactor and you have to isolate that as well, which is pretty cool. This is the other thing over here. This is like the power center. This I avoid. That's just, there is fuel in there. I think it's like an exhaust system. But this, you have to run around and find fuse boxes around the ship. You probably see them as tiny little bright green ones. They're over here near the front, usually. Yeah, down there. And there's one at the rear. And you've got to remove the fuse in a little timed puzzle to do that as well. And then you've got the nacelles as well. The way that the internals of this ship work is pretty crazy too. It's actually like a nut, like a bloody macadamia nut. Like you can crack the skin fairly easily.
Pressure levels dropping.
I know this isn't like some speed run min-max sort of thing. I wanted to show you guys the larger ship. There's an industrial version of this, which I saw was in free play, but I haven't really played with it, and I haven't technically unlocked it with my career. So you come down into the airlock. Sometimes there's two, and all these seats. So if you like furniture, that's great, but they've got lots of data sitting on the seats usually. Right. So one of the first things that you probably want to look at, I mean, obviously you got your work order, but getting the reactor is always the thing. You got to check these compartments over there are unpressurized, and yet we're pressurized. Oh, hang on, we're unpressurized. Oh, this is good news. This isn't so bad. But see, like the cockpit comms and even this storage room, this cargo room, which has probably got a million little bottles in there, and they're all great, but they're also explosive, even though they're handy. That's interesting. Okay, usually getting this room open can be a pain in the ass, but the fact that it's depressurized is good. So we go in here, and this central sort of room is like the power control room. So you can see this is the isolation console that you've seen before. It's particularly helpful in this case because it stops the fuel flowing in the pipes there. I'll just show you real quick. This is how you get out. You go through this cargo section. You can see down the bottom right, there's little guidance. You know, it tells you what room you're in. So this is how you go into the sort of exo area, I suppose, out into the main area, and there's the back. And like, for example, you go all the way up the front. See, there's the electronic power control thing I was telling you about. But like, if you go right up into the nose, like this thing is such a huge shell. Yes, there's all this coolant, and there's all these brackets holding it together. It doesn't take much to crack it open, to pull the brackets open, and that's a cockpit in there. That's where the driver sits, and there's a corridor through there, and it just extends into here. And you can just see, looking at the bottom, like it's a big old bloody box inside of a nanocarbon outer exterior. So this is all aluminium. You could shoot that and blow it open, and then it's all bracketed around the edges. So it's really different. See now this is new. I've never seen this before. I've managed to grab a model that I've never seen, which is crazy. And these are the fuse boxes I was telling you about as well. While we're here, we might as well just do it real quick. It's a little time puzzle. You go 1, 2, 3. Right, if you don't do that, it electrocutes you and you lose like half your life. You can take the fuse box. There's 2 more fuses, and every time you pull out a fuse, it goes faster. Anyway, here's the big bloody reactor. And it's inside a casing that's inside a casing. And here are your thrusters. And these aren't your conventional fuel thrusters. So these fuel tanks, I don't really know what they're doing apart from being a pain in the ass. But you can see that this is a purple line. Now there's still coolant running through here. We're gonna have to deal with that. But this would have had purple lights on before I isolated it. So we now need to isolate the coolant, which is, should be down the opposite room of this. What is... I need to know what this is. What is this? What is that? The heat sink. Reduce the heat of solar energy. Yeah, okay. Maybe they patched that in or something. I don't know. Anyway, this is where your ECU is. Oh, well, look, it's still there. The funny thing is, on some of your sensors, it white lights your sensor, which is interesting. So if you want to, you need to get the coolant out. You can't really see in there, but you can use this to isolate the objects, and that helps. And if you pull the little coolant, there'll be 3 of them. There we go. Coolant isolated. Something that you got to be careful of, and I've blown myself up many times, is that for whatever reason, in this connector, in that section there, it might be this. It might be this actual pipe here. That's not isolated. That's got coolant in it still.
Your oxygen reserves are low.
Oh, okay.
Note that excess carbon dioxide can cause damage to LYNX equipment.
So these green ones are O2. I'll get a repair kit while we're here. Alright, so we're isolated. I should have cracked the ship first, but so it goes. Everyone's going to have their own way of doing it. This is what I like doing. Essentially, see now the pipe's turned off. There's no glow. So we're at a point now where we could basically, with these pipes, it's usually easier to burn them. Alright. I just want to be careful I don't... There's like fuel tanks on the wall behind it. Alright. So... Same old, same old. Did that burn already? No. Alright, so that's pretty clear. Like, I'm gonna do what I always do with the other ones, is pull this out the bottom. So, we're gonna start cracking brackets. I actually prefer this these days. I don't know if we need to go this far up. I'll crack this one anyway while we're here. But yeah, I can't believe I didn't understand the timer thing, and that really changes everything. The fact that you then have that many days to do the work order. I mean, I guess it wasn't really a problem for me. Like, I wasn't really running into trouble. Three shifts is the longest I've seen anything, I think. For reference, I know quite a few of you are stressed out about the timed missions, and I didn't. It's not that I poo-pooed it. It's just that I think that at a certain point, if you give the player too much of what they want and make it too relaxed, then you do sort of you start slowly moving away from it being a game, right? So consider, like, if there were no constraints, say you couldn't die, say you didn't have oxygen, say there was no timer, no nothing. At what point is this even a game anymore, and it's more just a 3D Unity bloody modeling engine sandbox thing, right? It needs these things to be a game. Now, there's balance, everyone's, you know, I'm not saying these guys are advocating for it to be Bebby mode, they're just concerned about the time constraint.
Got 5 minutes left to this shift before they turn the lights out on you.
But the stress now that I realise that the time constraint is like, I kind of assumed that once you had a hull, you had the hull forever until you were done with it. But the thing is, it's harder to extract value from it on each cut because each thing's worth less and less. Like this level 2 reactor's worth $3 million. Alright, here we go. She's starting to come apart now. So we'll see. I've upgraded my push a little bit. Can I... You know, we're not really at a point where we can... You can push that away. But all these brackets, see how they start to float loose almost immediately? Yeah. Yeah, cool. So it doesn't take much to open this thing. This could probably just go in there. Also, like, if you want to do your work orders of what is it, nanocarbon? It's like 20 tons of nanocarbon. You can pull the front corners off the ship really easy, and they're 10 ton each. That's what I found. Anyway. What's going to be the easiest way to make it open up? We might be able to do something cheeky with the back end. Sort of just twist it. These tank trap things are so handy.
Material deposited.
Destroyed nanocarbon. Did something... Oh, it went in the furnace by accident. Oh, whoopsies. Where's this need to go? No. How strong's my thing? Oh, it's pretty good.
Warning. Your oxygen reserves are dropping below statistically profitable levels.
Thank you for the warning, ma'am. I will jump on that right away. This has so many tanks in it, this one in particular. Not always this case. Alright, we've been going slower because I've been doing the sort of the grand tour, but I'll usually jet through this a lot faster. Okay, cool. We've cleared out. This should be pretty straightforward. All the brackets and that are out of the way, you can just grab on and pull. Now the thing is, this won't trigger the event because what it's technically holstered to... Come on, come down, you bastard. What it's technically holstered to is this has got casing on it. Why aren't you moving? Maybe I haven't cleared something else out. It could be that this is just technically in the way. Like sometimes things like this are technically anchored in space. Yeah, look, it wants to come out. It's just,
1 minute left, Cutter. Time to start wrapping things up. We wrap.
Why aren't you coming down? Yeah, here we go. I wonder what was going on there. It's unusual. So this thing, I'll show you, you can skin it. And the core's inside, technically. Come on, go. Oh, did that count? No, it didn't. It didn't actually count the core. That's alright. it counted, I think one of the reactor plate that was on the bottom of it technically can go into the barge salvage as well. Oh well, that's fine. So we'll go in. Like I said, I'll do 2 days per game. Obviously that didn't help. I think one of the other things is you can see I've got suit rental, thruster rental, but I don't have helmet rental. I'll show you with the upgrades. I think my cutter needs repair. I still don't truly understand what repairing is all about. I've managed to buy my own helmet, and that wasn't cheap. If you go to like suit, I think no, maybe it's thruster. 1750 LT. So this is where we're at now. That I'm saving up for these like obnoxiously expensive things. Another thing that I've discovered is the cutter can't upgrade cut level. It just keeps going range, but the split saw can go up cut grade. And if you were to go into free play mode, you can cut straight through the outer skin of these ships, which is pretty OP. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Anyway, we'll keep salvaging this ship. We'll see if we can get through some of these work orders. What has happened here? This is unusual. Usually, the reactor's happy.
Reactor meltdown detected. Urgent action required.
Oh, there we go. It's very strange. There's some strange things going on here. Okay. Right, cool. Salvage power generator. Now that's the thing I was telling you about with the fuse boxes. Let's go. We haven't even gone into the front of the ship. It's good for electronic stuff. But, like, I don't really care much for a lot of the monitors, and I found that they blow each other up so easily, and... I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll do what we have to do. But usually, some of the more interesting salvage I find is in the back end. Anyway, so these are the other 2 fuses. Okay. Where'd it go? Because you can just collect them. Oops, or you could launch them like that. That doesn't help anybody. Alright, so all the fuses are done. So this is the piece of... This is the kit that we want. Can be released easily. And we've got some bloody big holes back there for it to come out through anyway. So you can see the health bar thing? It's got those 8 nubs. Now, I don't really know what the red ones mean, to be honest, but I do know that if you exhaust all the yellow ones, the thing becomes scrap. So this has 1 bump in it, and that's it. So you gotta be careful. Stop that. Uh-oh. There's quite the bump. Oh! No, don't go in there, mate. Alright. Here we go. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I just know what I know. And, like, as you guys are well aware, this is a fantastic game. I'm accidentally backing into the furnace. So I played a lot of it before embargo, and fortunately I figured out all the bugs and issues and that, of which there are quite a few, but I don't care because this game's really, really good. Alright, cool, so we've done the power thing. Now we've got to do the ECU, which is that coolant room that I showed you before, which is here. Now this is going to be interesting because I'm still not clear on where the coolant is. Oh, well, that seems safe. We might just straight up cut it out. To be perfectly honest, most of the times I've got this out, it's because I've blown this entire wall up. Yeah, just like that.
Avoid damaging valuables.
See, it's still intact. What am I doing? Oh, I pressed the grab button there. The like hand grab. Oh Jesus Christ! Watch out for that coolant. It hurts. Might do the same thing as we did with this. Sort of just pull it upwards, eh? Now I'm going at a leisurely pace. I figure what we'll do is, because I've gotten into a rhythm now where I basically just need to grind out work orders and money, mostly money in that as well. But like, I'm showing you the ship and how it goes, and then after that we're going to attempt to bloody MLG speed run it or whatever, as best as we can, you know? Same with the other vessel as well. We'll go and have a look at the smaller ones, which I'm still quite a big fan of. Why? Oh, it is free. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm yet to remove one of these without detonating the wall. That's supposed to go down there, isn't it? I hope so. Cross, well, we're going to find out in a second. Thumbs up. Also, if it wasn't clear, it took me a while to figure out, when he gives you a thumbs up, that means you finished a work order. I know, I know. Obvious to some. Also, you figure out what's worth more as well. Airlock panels? Bloody $50,000? Like, there are certain things worth way more than other things. Alright, salvage electrical. Okay. Now, funnily enough, I believe the things like the airlock panels that I was talking about are technically mechanical as far as this game is concerned. So your electrical choices are a little bit stiff. We'll take this off. This is like a bloody ECM tower. So that'll count. But truly, in the main area, in the flight sort of deck where all the passengers sit, that's all the monitors and that, there's a shitload of them. You have a look here, it shows you systems. Green is electronic basically, so there's so much in here, and then all up in the front as well, but you gotta remember it's still pressurized up there, so we gotta be careful. I'm gonna just bloody crack this powder keg, eh? Christ, how long is this thing? The problem is it'll have aluminium struts all through it. But let's see how much of this floor I can get away with cutting open. I haven't tried this before. What I have found some success in is cutting the nose off the cockpit. Cutting the head off it. That's what I do with the smaller ones as well. I'll show you probably on the next episode. I'll show you the best way to get into the walls and that. For the mackerel. Because you have some seriously advanced versions of that thing. Alright, that floor should be pretty much totally removed, right? So let's see how we go. Bit of an experiment here, you know. For the most part, we've gotten the idea. What was else there? There was salvage nanocarbon, salvage metal. What am I doing? Where am I? Oh, these are all important questions. Oh, okay, look, I didn't actually fully crack the floor. That's right, we'll fix that. Oops. This could be bad.
Level decreasing.
So that's the cargo hold that was pressurized. It's alright, we should be alright. Oh shit. We've got to be careful, the cabin above us is also pressurized. Hey, what's an episode without a mistake? Notice that we didn't really get much slowdown or anything. I mean, granted, we didn't go bloody thermonuclear with the reactor. Now that I'm sort of trying to do the episodes more reaction-y, so any comments that you put down, I should be able to read before I do the next episode, or at least before the one after. So let me know what you want. One question I want to hear, like, do people want to see me detonate a ship on purpose? Because I can do that. Bloody crash my computer just about, but like, it's something special blowing up this bloody reactor, I'll tell you what. I'd be open to that sort of thing.
Got about 5 minutes left in this shift, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
We're out.
Yeah, with my new understanding of the time limit, my will to harvest every single piece of crap is a lot smaller. Like, I care way less.
Valuable component incinerated. Penalty has been applied.
What's this? Penalties? Hang on. What is this attached to? Can you pull away? Ah. What indeed is going on here? Oh, is it that thing that was in the wall? It is, it's that thing. This bloody new thing that I've never seen before. Oh, well, let's pull him out. Oh, how about that? Okay, cool beans. In you go. Alright, did my floor trick work?
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Deposit not accepted.
What are you talking about? Where's the section I cut out? Yeah, it's this, right? Bloody... Come out. I forget that you can pin straight down. It worked. Perfect. That's a lot of chairs, team. In you go.
Caution. Tether supplies running low.
Yeah.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Alright, and this is how you probably... That's probably a really good way to... God damn it.
Salvage secured.
To,
Credit applied.
Oh god damn it, stop sparking! There's a better way to do this, because I'm an idiot.
Oxygen level stabilizing.
Oh my god, it's killing all my monitors, you bastard. So the easy way to do it is to be close. I have depowered the entire ship, so I don't know what's going on. They're all sparking like crazy.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credit transferred.
These things are worth a pretty penny. The recyclers. I'm breathing deeply. Am I gonna die from these things?
Credits deposited.
There's also in this room too. This thing has a battery pack in the back of it too. Usually. Come here. Jesus, that was close. So left trigger pulls things towards you. That's something I didn't realize someone pointed out. I think they said right mouse, and I just experimented with left trigger then, which should make my life a little bit easier actually.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I don't know if this battery is really worth anything. Yeah, it never tells you about the left trigger thing. Yeah, so whoever said the right mouse click, thank you so much. I never would have thought to even pull left trigger while I was doing that. Look, while I'm here, I'm going to grab these airlock panels because they're good. Hang on. Did we depressurize that? We did. Am I going to get the work order? No, I'm not even close.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
We would have made a pretty penny there. And again, most of that was doing a bit of a tour. Look at that, 4 million, not bad. But 3 of it's into that reactor. What else is in there that's sort of sexy? The power generator's a quarter, so's the ECU. A few computer terminals. How much were the bloody chairs? The seat. They add up, they add up. If you pull them out like a Cadbury bloody chocolate block and deposit them like that. But that was a lot of work. So I mean, cracking into the actual center is something I haven't really perfected, you know, for the electronics and that. But like I said, another option is to potentially crack it from the cockpit front section first and drag it out there. I find that much easier because cracking the shell of the ship in the nose is really easy. We didn't do that here, but in future we will. So I found that like cracking open the nose and pulling all the electronics out from the cockpit's pretty bloody good too. But yeah, look, doing aluminium work in this game, a lot of it I think is just you got to bloody hack at it like chopping a tree to really get in there. So yeah, another shift done. Like I said, I know we've jumped forward a little bit, but like I said, there was a bunch of not filler episodes where I had to retread doing my cert, so I've cut all that out altogether. And now we're at this point where we're just trying to. Well, look, we've actually managed to do the money, 22 million. That was what I was grinding on the most, to be perfectly honest. So, work order objectives is the thing. So, funnily enough, doing the small vessels might be the better bet, because while the work orders aren't worth as much, there's probably more of them, and they're going to be easier to do in the one shift. So we might just sort of grind that out. But again, like I said, I've changed the format. So I'll record episodes as needed, as long as this is popular, basically. And you guys just let me know what you want to see and what you reckon what we want to do. And if you have any tips or questions or anything like that, we should be able to integrate that into the playthrough a little bit more smoothly. Alright team, thanks again for joining me. We might just leave it there for the time being, and I will catch you guys on the next one.